Hey y'all, how many of you give your dog too many treats without even realizing it? I know in this house, it happens at least once or twice daily. Sometimes you want something that you know is healthy, that doesn't have a whole lot of calories in it, even for your dog. So today, we're gonna make dehydrated sweet potato chips. Now, you're probably gonna wanna use special equipment for this. I have an inexpensive food dehydrator that I got at a yard sale years ago, so it works great for this. A couple other options would be check your air fryer. I know my air fryer also has a dehydrating function. Or use your oven on a really low setting. Now, these only take a couple minutes to put together, but they take anywhere from 8 to 12 hours or so to dehydrate. So if your oven's on, it's gonna be on for a long time. This thing sits on my counter, doesn't make any noise. I put it back in the garage, out of the way when I'm not using it. So for me, this works great. Today, I'm gonna slice them up on a mandolin to get some nice even slices. You want them really thin. I use 1/8 of an inch, and you want them even so they all dry out evenly. If you don't have a mandolin, don't worry about it. Grab a sharp knife and just get them as thin as you can. So let me show you what I'm gonna do. Got my mandolin, it's set. Got a clean sweet potato. I just wanna make slices. So you wanna slice the entire sweet potato. Sometimes if it's a large sweet potato, I actually have to do it in batches. Mandolins are super sharp, so really you should be using your guard. I'm not, so let's hope I don't slice myself like that. But you really do want to use your guard, especially if you're getting down towards the end of it. A lot of times when I'm using it, I will turn my potato because it's kind of at an angle, so I'll rotate the potato keep everything as even as I can. Pick up that one off the floor that fell if you heard that. And in just a minute, I've got all these sweet potato chips, close to the same size, not exact. And then all we have to do is put them on our dehydrator tray. So I will line everything around. I put them pretty close together, the dehydrator. As they dehydrate, all the moisture is going to be out of them, so they're going to shrink a lot. So when I show them to you guys, something that was that big is going to be 1/3 of that size probably. So you just need to fill up your trays. Looks like I'm going to need a 3rd tray, so let me pop that on there. Okay guys, that's it. That's all you have to do except for plug it in and let it go. So we're gonna put the lid on. This is gonna take over 8 hours easily, if not longer. So a lot of times what we'll do is sometimes we'll put it on before we go to bed and just let it run all night and then start checking it in the morning. So I'm gonna run these until they're dry, anywhere between 8 and 12 hours. I'll check them to make sure they're crisp and totally dry, and then they're ready to go. So since I've got some time to kill, I'm gonna bring you guys back tomorrow. And thankfully, because I can edit this, it'll be like 2 seconds. So we'll see you soon. We'll show you what they look like and how they came out. Okay, y'all, so it's the next day. These are done. I let them run yesterday for about 12 hours is what they went yesterday. And last night, before I went to bed, about 11:30, I checked them and they weren't as dry as I wanted them. So I unplugged it for the night and just let it sit on the counter at room temperature. This morning when I got up, I put them on for another couple hours, and now for me, they're done. So they're completely dried out, and how you test for that is you take one of them, and you can see they've gotten pretty small compared to what they were, and then I crack it. And if it has a good snap to it, and you don't feel any moisture in it, they're ready to go. So at this point, make sure they're cool, back to room temperature. You don't want to put them in something hot, because if there is any moisture, that's going to create steam, and they're going to get soggy. So you want to make sure they're back to room temperature, and then just put them in a jar or something. And these will last probably a good 3 weeks, if they last that long, depending on how many you do. We tend to do 1 to 2 potatoes at a time, depending on how fast we feel like we're going through them. And after a couple weeks, just keep an eye on them. Remember, you're not having this professionally done, you're doing it at home, and we want to make sure we're giving our dogs things that they can have. So what's going to happen to these is if they go too long, and we're talking 2 or 3 weeks, they could potentially get mold on them. And you'll notice that because the chips will start getting some blue on them. So if you see any of that, it's time to get rid of them. You don't want to give anything to your dog like that. So this is an easy recipe for your dog. They're healthy, they're inexpensive. If you buy the big sweet potato chews at the store that they have in bags, a bag of those can run $10, $15. So something like this is really economical for you to do for the dog. That's all I've got for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I hope you give it a try. If you do, leave it down below in the comments. If you use the oven to do it, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Or if you use an air fryer with the dehydrator function, let me know how that worked for you guys. Please remember to smash that like button and subscribe, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.